Good morning everyone, welcome to a new market update, and today we're going to discuss some altcoins, and you know that we're going to release a new interview later today. So do not forget to subscribe to the channel beneath and also like this video before you continue to watch. Today we're going to discuss why altcoins are still very attractive in general, and it has many layers that we want to discuss, and you can see on the screen the first one is going to be Swipe. As many people are questioning themselves, and it's a general topic. If altcoins are running significantly, people that are not in those altcoins are going to ask themselves, should I jump over? Should I get a different altcoin? Am I in the wrong ones? And that's called FOMO. And once you experience FOMO, you're going to make the wrong decisions, as you're going to sell an altcoin that is not moving for a coin that is moving, and then at some stage the coin that is moving is not moving at all, and the one that you used to be in starts to move, and then you get in a vicious circle, and then you're just going to make losses after losses after losses. While in general, traders and investors should be relatively patient, and if you're a little bit more experienced, that patience is the key to success, or at least one of those, and therefore you should be avoiding to make any of those rookie mistakes. And I'm sure next Sunday we're going to make a video on rookie mistakes in general. But what can we see on the chart of Swipe, and why is it still attractive in general? The coffee machine is going out right now. It's still attractive given the fact that it's still accumulating in the Bitcoin pair. And there are a few key examples or few key indicators that you should be aware of. And on the left, you can see that those accumulation periods are very important to watch in general. So what do we see on the left side of this chart? We can see that the price has been moving sideways before a big expansion started to occur. Right now, we can see that we are in a similar sideways accumulation period in which no breakout is occurring yet, and we are down 87% against the all-time high in Bitcoin price. Few things. Once it starts to move, you are too late and you can't really get into a position yet unless you want to day trade. That's basically, or scalp trade, that's basically it. Next, if we're going to include some moving averages, we can see that the 100 MA and 200 MA are critical to watch in general for the price action of those altcoins. And you can see that we're currently squeezing between those, and once these two make the golden cross, or once it starts to flip above the moving average, we can assume that a new bull cycle is ready to start. And once that bull cycle is ready to start, and once Swipe breaks above 7,000 sats, it's ready to make that very big breakout in general. So you want to start accumulating here, and in general, if we can see this price action based on the recent months, you can see that the green area is a beautiful support zone that flipped for support, and since then we are making higher lows. So we are basically compressing and compressing. We can see that there's also a few volume accumulation or increase happening right now, through which the breakout above this red line is easy going to bring at least Swipe a 2x. And then the next topic comes into play, as when Swipe is going to make this 2x, this is the previous all-time high, and you can see that the all-time high is going to be broken, right? So we are making those new higher lows, we are flipping further up, we are compressing now as well. Most likely we get something like this, and this area becomes the support, the area around $3.10. As long as that sustains support, this high and this recent high are going to make a breaker. So this is the critical area that we have to watch, but once this breaks, we are going to make a new higher high, and that higher high is going to be higher than the previous all-time high. Then we get into the topic why Bitcoin pairs and USDT pairs are important to watch. Once something is going into an all-time high region, you should start flipping over to the Bitcoin pair. Why is that important? Well, you want to gain more Bitcoin. There is a certain period in time, and that's going to happen after this run of altcoins, that Bitcoin is going to accelerate. Your USD value of your altcoins will relatively stay the same. However, your Bitcoin value will drop down significantly. So that's why you want to use the Bitcoin pair to derive information against Bitcoin. So whether it's a good moment to buy the altcoin against Bitcoin, through which it is going to outperform Bitcoin. And at some stage, you want to avoid being in the altcoin and you want to flip over towards Bitcoin, as altcoins are going to be overvalued against Bitcoin. So let's flip back towards the chart that we just used. Swipe against Bitcoin. So in this case, you could argue that altcoins are undervalued against Bitcoin. In the current case, you can also say it right now for Swipe, given the fact that Bitcoin is 3x the previous all-time high in 2017, and Swipe is still hovering around the lows on the Bitcoin value. But once it starts to make this acceleration, you could argue that Swipe is getting overvalued against Bitcoin and has been outperforming. And based on this huge run, you want to start avoiding to be in Swipe, and you want to start taking profits. As through that, you got the ability to buy back in on lower levels. And next to that, you've just made a giant profit. So based on this chart, you can just flip over to Bitcoin and lock those profits or those additional Bitcoins that you've made. If we go back towards a coin that has been doing relatively well in the past, it's THETA. So THETA has been going into an accumulation period, and it's basically where many of those altcoins are currently relying on. So THETA is one of those early runners, and AAVE is another one. This entire region is accumulation on the bottom here. And you know that we've got this accumulation period based on one chain or on Swipe or on KAVA. All are showing the exact same picture. Once it starts to make the breaker out of this accumulation high, it expands, as you can see. And THETA just had a massive run and came down towards a retest. But the bull cycle starts as the accumulation period is over. We can see that it has been running massively since, and even made a 20x in Bitcoin value. On the further left side, we can also see that we've got another accumulation period, and once it breaks, you can see that we're expanding. If we go towards the next altcoin, we can see the exact same picture, in which AAVE has been making similar sideways actions, breakout, expansion heavily, as you can see. That's where the bull cycle happens, and AAVE could be into an interesting point right now, but that's not the key issue that we're discussing here. We can see that we've got a nice accumulation period, and once it starts to break out of it, you want to be into a position already. Then we're discussing THETA at this stage, in which THETA has some critical levels, and you can see that THETA is currently making a similar accumulation period. So there's a critical level that THETA has to break through, which is this black zone that I'm making. That's the resistance zone that's still not breaking, right? So once this breaks, we can argue that we're getting into a new bull cycle, and the exact same moving averages you can just add onto this chart, and you can see that we once again are expressing or compressing between the 100 and the 200 MA. And once it breaks above this 100 MA, the sky is the limit, as that's the first bull cycle that THETA is going to be in. Next to that, you can also see that we're holding a critical support zone. That's the area around 420 sats, currently holding as support, through which continuation is very much likely to happen on this one. So you want to get that position going right now, and this is why I believe that altcoins are doing well, but I still expect many altcoins to follow suit onto THETA, AAVE, as we're just starting up with that alt season, and usually April to July is just a very, very good period to jump into altcoins. Another example, I just take a random one, KAVA, currently building up, slightly breaking above the 100 moving average, but not really expanding yet. But you can see that it's also showing an accumulation period, and once it starts to accelerate, you want to be into a position, as you basically just get one entry point here, and that's about it. So that's my update for today. Altcoins will definitely pull another 10x from here, but you have to pick the right ones, and then once it goes heavy, you have to compound those profits. If you want to compound on those profits and follow my strategy, check out the website beneath, as that's the group that I'm currently having, or the educational platform. We also got a consultancy. Do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And have a wonderful, wonderful day, as it's beautiful right now. So I'm going outside.